Hey guys, welcome to this week's Did You Know? Thank you for tuning in. All right, so we talked about the benefits of open houses last week. Now we're going to talk about preparing for those open houses, all right? All right, so let me bring up my little checklist here. As you can see, the first step, and I know we talked about this briefly last week, is safety first, guys. So you want to lock up those valuables, any personal items, medications, whatnot. Get them, lock them up somewhere in a safe, take them out of the house. If you have pets, take them with you. That way, you don't have anything like that in an open house when people are coming through. You know what I mean? Don't get me wrong, your agent is going to do their best to make sure that, nobody's doing anything fishy in your house. But it's just, again, safety first, practice with caution, okay? Next, you're going to want to deep clean and declutter the space, okay? You don't want people walking through your house and you're tripping over something that, it's in somewhere it shouldn't be. You want to clear that space, make it feel as open and inviting as possible. Clean it up, you know what I mean? If there's dust, a layer of dust and everything, that's not a good look. Buyers will come in and, they're going to be like, wow, this person doesn't clean. That's definitely not an impression you want a buyer to get when they're coming through your house for the first time. You want them to fall in love with the house. You want them to get this image of wanting to live there. Put yourself in those shoes. Would you have an image of wanting to live in a property that you're walking through an open house for and see a layer of dust? Clean it up, get it nice. If you have, litter boxes, if you have cats, I love them. I have cats myself, but, get those litter boxes really clean and maybe store them in the garage or somewhere out of the main areas. Okay. So that way, they're not there when a new buyer, potential buyer comes in and the only thing they see is a litter box, and if you have cleaned it, they're also going to smell that odor. You don't want that there. You want the house looking nice and smelling nice when they come through. Something else you can do is the initial impression a buyer's going to get when they first pull up their house. It's going to be that curb appeal, so boost it up. And you don't need to go crazy. You don't need to get a landscaper. Just trim the hedges, mow the lawn, get the leaves pulled out. You know what I mean? Make it nice. Clean off any debris or dirt that's on the siding. Do take a power washer or hose and spray it down. Just get the house nice and clean. And when people roll up to it for the first time, they're seeing, a well-maintained house. It's a great impression that a buyer is going to get when they first pull up.
All right, those are some great tips. And I have a few more because these can really make a difference. So like Nina talked about, cleaning and decluttering, along with that goes staging, right? This is a key piece. So if possible, move your furniture, arrange it to show off each room's space. And add little small touches, right? Soft background music or some fresh cut flowers. These things make your home feel really inviting without being overwhelming. And also on that note, lighting and ambiance. Open your blinds, open doors, open curtains, let in as much natural light as you can, and turn on every light fixture. You want your home to be bright. You want it to be welcoming, because a bright space, it really makes a difference in how buyers feel when they walk through the door. And then don't forget the minor repairs, right? The 5-minute jobs that everybody puts off: leaky faucets, a squeaky door, a hinge, chipping paint, because buyers notice the little things. They notice literally everything, and fixing those up, they're going to show that you really cared for your home. And then probably the most important tip, right? Plan to be away during your open house. It helps your visitors feel comfortable. It takes a lot of pressure off, and it lets your agents walk them through your home without any distractions. Because, remember, when your house looks its best and it flows well, it's no longer just a house. It's a future home that buyers can really see themselves living in.
All right, guys, that wraps up this week's Did You Know on open houses. Again, if you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to us. Our contact information is here on the screen. As always, just send us an email, call us. We're more than happy to help you out. Okay.
So this is Nina and Christine signing off. Thank you so much for listening. Stay tuned for next week, and please don't forget to like, share, and follow.